Louis Johnston Jr., founder of Layman Lessons, AmericanConstitutionCenter.org, PatriotPastors.net. Louis Johnston Jr. from the War Zone.
Well, we have a president whose administration issued an executive order commanding that public school children be allowed to use whatever restroom they want to, because to deny a person to their bathroom of choice is discrimination. And now we are outraged. Finally, we have some outrage in our states that we're not going to allow the football team to take showers with our little girls in public school locker rooms, and we're just going to stop it. We're going to say no. So here's the real problem. The real problem is that we states are blackmailed by the federal government, and it's our fault, states, because most people don't realize 40 to 47% of the state budgets come from federal revenues. So they have every right to dictate how those funds are spent by our states, and they have every right to blackmail us in each individual program. Now, the Supreme Court has already ruled in the Sebelius opinion by Justice Roberts that the federal government cannot blackmail states to do things in other areas and risk those funds that are not in those areas. In other words, they can't threaten states to stop their funding in other areas other than in the areas that they want to dictate in for that particular issue. So we can't be blackmailed unless we allow it. But the real problem is our states are in slavery to the federal government. 47% of the state budget in Tennessee, for example, comes from the federal government. So that's why we are so scared of the federal government not doing what they tell us to do. How is that freedom and liberty? How is that being a sovereign state? It's time we look at the real problem and start cutting spending in our states instead of new programs. You know, they're great. New programs are great, but not if we are slaves to the federal government and it takes our liberties away as a sovereign state. You can see more at AmericanConstitutionCenter.org or my website, LouisJohnston.com. Free information and state laws that'll stop this.
Louis Johnston Jr. from the War Zone. Louis is the founder of Layman Lessons, which facilitated over 1 million meals to feed the homeless last year, all with an unpaid staff. He is NBA educated and author of over 10 books, published articles, and has crafted dozens of pieces of legislation. He founded AmericanConstitutionCenter.org, an online public library for Judeo-Christian heritage. PatriotPastors.net was launched for training Christian pastors and patriots. BlueWingUSA.com provides a bridge between business needs, solutions, marketing, and media strategies. Louis Johnston Jr. from the War Zone. LouisJohnston.com.